Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your girl LaTonya MeChelle, and I'm here for another episode of Let Him Talk Live. You guys, y'all know I'm super high right now. I'm feeling really good. This is just my second show. I took a long break before I came back to do these talk shows. COVID-19 has stopped all of us. However, I decided I'm coming back. And I'm gonna keep throwing black men in y'all faces. So last week we had Monty Washington from Tyler Perry's Bruh, and this week I have the Whisper. Can you say the Whispers? Hello.
Hello.
Y'all, I don't just have two of them. I have all three of them. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you very much.
First of all, I have to say, before I even get started, because I'm going to be all up in y'all's business. I want to hear everything that you have going on. But I have to send a special shout out to Marquise Gaines. Because if it wasn't for him, you guys would not be here. Because begged him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's a bad boy.
Yes, he is.
Bad boy.
Incredible
He is
young
doing
man.
his thing.
No question.
All over the world.
He loves the whispers. That's for sure. He loves the whispers.
And we love him.
So he's been in y'all's life. Well, y'all been in his life, all his life pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We met him actually in Atlanta. No, I take it back, in New Orleans.
Yeah, Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, Hurricane Katrina. Marquez, yeah.
Wow. Well, Marquez, this is dedicated to you. So we're going to make this happen, sweetheart. So let's do a proper introduction. So I'm going to be spoiled, and hopefully you guys will help me out in being spoiled. I want each of you to sing me your introduction as tell the world who you are, even though we already know, but I want simple, just a little, sing your name for me.
You want us to sing it?
Yes.
She said this is going to be, let me start off. My name is Walter Scott, and I'm very proud of it.
My name is Lavelle Degree, and I'm extremely proud of it.
My name is Scotty. La you
What? I'm sure my mother is so jealous right now. Oh my God, welcome. Okay, so y'all, we have so much to talk about, but I want to take a few minutes to go back. How many years have you all been in the business?
As we sit here today, we've been in the business 54 years. We graduated high school in 1962, and in 66, we were really together before that, but officially 1966 started our plight from Watts, California and South Central Los Angeles.
Did you have any idea back then that you all would be legends?
Not a clue. I mean, you said you want us to be honest, right?
I want to be very honest.
Okay, we came from the projects of Jordan Downs, which is in South Central Los Angeles, in Watts, California. I know the whole world knows about Watts, California because of the Watts riots, but that's where we came from. And we were living in the projects, and we used to sing. Los Angeles in the summertime is wonderful because the weather's beautiful. So we could stay outside until midnight, until my mother said, "Get your you-know-what in here." And we started doo-wopping, and 1966, that was the era of the Temptations. So
right.
We were no different. We wanted to be like the Temptations and the Four Tops. And we had not a clue that we would be together 54 years. No way.
Yeah. And the crazy part about it is when you say the word legends, we don't even, it's hard to even relate to it, as a group, because we're, people always say, "Man, do you know you guys are legends?" And I'm like, we are, it's just, we don't think of it like that. We just feel blessed that we've been able to be here this long, and people, or been able to love our music. So we really, that word legend, I don't think I don't know. For me, I think it shows humility within the group that we don't really think of it that way, So it's funny. I don't know. It just seems weird when you say that to me.
That's okay. Y'all don't have to think of it. We think of it for you. So it's enough of us we don't need y'all to do it. We'll do it for y'all. I mean, like, think about it. 54 years ago, a lot of us weren't even born. Well, So, and the fact that we're sitting here with you all right now, and you guys have new music out. So that says a lot. And we still know who you all are. We all have probably made babies to your music. We've gotten some crazy situations to your music, and everything has been, there's so many stories that your music tells. We have fell in love to y'all music and stuff. And how can we not call you legends?
Thank you.
Especially the way that music is today. We don't understand what music is anymore. People have lost, the desire to just sit and listen to music. So we have to go back to music like y'all to appreciate and to have a good time and, to really feel what love and everything is truly about. So y'all are legends.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
What were you gonna say, Scotty? I'm sorry.
I was just saying, I wanted to say thank you because I'm like Lavelle. I'm just happy we're still here. And you can give me any title you want, legend, doesn't matter. I'm just happy to still be here and we're still putting along. But we know why that is. There's a man upstairs he's the real legend. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the real reason why we're still here. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Wow. Have you guys always had God involved in your music careers, in your life as a whole?
Well, we learned early, me and Walt, and I think Lavelle did too, because I knew his mother, but we always knew who was in charge.
Mm-hmm.
We knew we all come out of the church, and whether you're young or old, when you go through the church, there's some decency there that you can't get around. So we always knew who was in charge, and they told us that we would probably be doing it. We didn't believe it, but we were told a long time ago, you guys are going to really be great one day. We said, oh, great. We'd be glad when it happened.
Yeah, that's true.
And you want to keep it real. So, all of us, our mothers brought us into the church. I went to church with my mom and stuff like that. But as you get older, being real, we stray away from those kind of things. But then you have to go full circle and you come back. When you start getting older, you start thinking differently. You think about, which direction I want to go when I leave here. And, I'm in Vegas. It's hot enough here. I don't want to go to that other. Right. So, then you have to start getting your soul right, and there's only one way you can get your soul right is through Yahshua. So, that brings you full circle right back here. Yep.
I love it. So when your career was growing, do you remember how y'all stayed focused and not get caught in the crazy world that the music industry has? Did you guys really depend on each other? What was it that y'all used to stay focused?
Oh, that's easy. Lavelle was talking about our mothers. I think we were blessed the whole time that we've been here, from having been raised by people who had humility. We always knew that there was no, like people used to say, why don't they say Walt and Scotty and the Whispers? We've always said, no, it's just the Whispers.
The Whispers, right.
We've always known that we're only as strong as our weakest link. And our mothers put that in us very, very early. My father was the kind of guy that always told me and Scotty, I never want something for nothing. I want to earn my keep. So we came up with that in mind. And I think that the Heavenly Father just blessed us because we always stuck together. We always knew that if we stuck together, nobody could ever come between us. And I wish you could have gotten to know Nicholas and Marcus before we lost them, because their mothers were the same way. We stuck together big time. Now, we had not a clue that what would happen as a result of sticking together like that, but it just turned out beautiful. You know, right today, even though those two aren't here with us, in our minds, they are, Marcus and Nicholas.
So my girlfriend, she made sure, she was like, wait a minute, you have to say something to the Whispers. So she said that even when they stopped playing with the groups, or someone was incarcerated, y'all still got paid the same way for each show.
Yeah.
Is this true?
That was the first time I can tell you.
Yeah. Let the guy who was incorporated, let him tell you the story.
Yeah. Well, I got in trouble, because like I said, you stray away from what your foundation is. And whenever you stray away from your foundation, you will get in trouble because, like Walter said, you stay close to God, he'll get you straight. But when my stray time went, I wind up getting incarcerated. And I just knew it was the end of my career, and I would not be with this group anymore because I know they were pissed off now. They were every one of them.
No question about it.
No doubt about it.
Did they dump you?
No! Hey, the conversations were vicious, and I understood every bit of it. Because I had done something that embarrassed the group. Right. But during that process, like Walter said, you're only as strong as your weakest link. They stuck by me wholeheartedly. While I was incarcerated, I didn't miss a payment on nothing because it was like I was performing on stage with them. Still, they sent me my check like clockwork, and I was able to maintain my, my standard of living, but other groups probably wouldn't have went down that way, but that's, they stuck by me through thick and thin. And that's why I think we're so strong today, because no matter what, we're gonna, like Walter said, we're strong as the weakest link. And so if something would happen to Walter, whether it be physically, we're gonna stick by him. Same thing with Scotty, they're gonna stick by me. So yeah, it's a blessing. And in the interview, I said, who does that? What guys do? What I'm saying? That doesn't happen. Some family members will run away from you behind when you get in trouble.
Right.
And you know what? Since we're being candid, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like Lavelle told you, we had some deep conversations about Lavelle's, and I was one of them. Listen about it. You said you wanted to be honest, but Nicholas Caldwell, to his credit, you know what he said to us? He said, "Fellas, we never kicking nobody when they down, ever." That's all he had to say to me. So when Lavelle got out, it was like he'd never been away from us. Mm-hmm. We don't mind telling this story because I think young people should hear this, how important it is to stick together. Mm-hmm. And I really think that's what's produced 54 years of longevity, the fact that we're still together today.
Mark, I want to piggyback off of what Walter said. To me, it is shameful when you spend 35, 45, 50 years together, and now you can't remain a group where now somebody branches off and now there's two of this group or two of that group. To me, that's just amazing that happens. What happens so terrible in the group to allow that to happen? And people come to us all the time, and after the interview that we did on Unsung, and they say, dude, we're just amazed what kind of guys you are and what kind of character you guys have, and how the group stuck by you. It just spoke volumes of the other members of the group to stick by me like they did.
This is so we know, and let's just be real. I'm just as real as you all. This is not the norm for the Black community, period. Whether it's family, it doesn't matter. Like, so what you're saying, and the fact that you guys have overcome all of this stuff and no one held grudges or anything, that says a lot about y'all characters. And we can't do anything but salute y'all mothers, because y'all mothers, I mean, from what you all are saying, your mothers instilled this in you all, and they made sure that you guys were around people with good characters who can continue to instill this in you all.
Yeah, no question. We credit our mothers all the time.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You know, and not to get off topic, but I have to say this because I'm listening to you all speak, and I just got through reading stuff about Kanye West. I'm not sure if you all know what's going on with him, but you know, he just got in front of a bunch of people and just pretty much lost it. You know, he's mentally lost it and
Again?
everything. And and I hear everybody's just being so negative, and it's just like, y'all, he needs help. Like he needs help. Like who are his true friends?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree 100%.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, somebody's not tutoring in there, but you know, you got to have somebody that can look at you and be real and tell you. You know, we all have mothers. Now we have wives that look at us and say,
Yeah.
you know, you're wrong for that. You know, or you know, you have to, you know, the way you spoke, or what you said, or why'd you curse? You know, that kind of thing. And nobody's there to pull his coattail. And maybe they are there and he's just not listening. Who knows?
Right. Accountability is important. Okay, so we know that there's crazy times going in our society right now. Crazy times. We've all been stuck in the house from the pandemic, COVID-19 and stuff. And then we all have experienced our brothers, our sisters just getting killed like it's nothing. Like, you know, our brothers cannot walk down the streets anymore without worrying what's going to happen to them and stuff. And so before we carry on, I want to start with you, Scotty. Tell me how you are feeling as a Black man right now.
Well, you know what? I don't know if this was the time, but I'm gonna take this opportunity. The record that we just released has a lot to do with why we came. First of all, let me start. It's been about 14 years since we've had a new product.
Right.
And just before this virus came along, we were in the process of saying, hey, what's going to be our new release? We're excited about coming with a new record. It's been a long time. And lo and behold, we saw a young man by the name of George Floyd with a knee in his neck. When we saw that, it changed everything for us because we had a song that spoke to exactly what was going on with him. And like you said, a lot of our brothers and sisters who were going on. I mean, we didn't have too many Black people die the wrong way. We've been treated badly a long time in this country as Black people. This is not the first time we've seen the George Floyd situation. Back in the early 60s, we had another record called Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong Before They Notice Me. Subject matter was the same. That's why we did that record, because we were being treated badly back then. Lo and behold, 50 years later, here we are again, and we see another brother that's been snuffed out right in front of our face. So when this record was given to us by the bass player in our band, who wrote this years ago, the lyrics said it all. You know, how long is what we call this song? And we're simply asking the question, how long do we have to go through this crap? How long is it going to take for us to learn that if you give love a chance, now for some people that might be a little too corny for them, it may not be enough, but that's the answer. The answer is that we think love trumps hate. And that's really what this record is all about. The title, of course, is called How Long? And when you listen to it, you'll listen to the lyrics and you'll hear the words explain. That's how we got to where we are today with this record. How long?
So I'm going to play How Long. However, I still want you both to do, I still need all three of you guys to do something for me. I'm going to ask this question one more time. How did you feel individually as a Black man when you found out that they just kept killing us?
Well, you want to start, Walt, or you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Well, my biggest thing is that this was something that's been happening back where people didn't have cameras. So I've seen my brothers get choked out right in front of me. They would do it all the time. In fact, they would practice the chokehold. They would violate your rights, pull you out of a car. I've always been being a black man and being in, having the success that we had. I've had exotic cars. I could probably tell you easily I've been pulled over 30 times just driving while black, and put on the sidewalk and humiliated and all of those things. So even today, with the things that have been happening to black people, me, even as an entertainer, we're not exempt. So when I drive home at night, I'm literally petrified that I'm going to get pulled over, get into a situation on a dark street that's going to wind up ending my life. So this is not something new. It's just a fear that you have to deal with, and which is horrible, to have to deal with fear when you're driving a car or any kind of car and you get pulled over. And I just implore my brothers right now, because I know how we are. We're angry because we've been treated like this all these years. But if that happens to you, cooperate. Do whatever you got to do. Put your hands out the window. Put your hands up. Do whatever you got to do. It is humiliating, but try to get through it, because you're in an instant, as we've already seen, not only with George Floyd, but the gentleman right after that got shot in the back. That's how it can end up in a flash of a second. So I tell my brothers, just cooperate, man. And it'll pass. Yeah, you'll be home. Go home, stomp, punch a wall, do whatever you got to do. But this could end up in your death until something changes. And I think that the change is around the corner. I'm so happy of seeing our people protest, not only blacks, but whites, Latino, Asian, everybody's protesting this. So I'm glad that the world has become aware of it. I actually am hopeful that I'm hopeful this time that change will be made.
Well, you asked me, you wanted each one of us to comment on how we feel as a black man today. Yes. And I'm going to be honest with you. With me, I went from being extremely angry to being extremely enthusiastic and happy about what I'm seeing now. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that, I went to Vietnam in 1966, but in 1965, we had the Watts riots. So where we lived in Watts, I missed what happened in 65 because I watched the Watts riots from Vietnam in 1966. But I remember being stopped by policemen back then. What Scotty told you, we wrote that song, Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong Before They Notice Me. Mm-hmm. In 1965 in Watts, a young black man, that was every day. That when the police stopped you, it wasn't Mr. So-and-so, how you doing? It was get on the ground. So I went from when I saw George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Iman Arbery, I'm watching all these young people. It brought back so many memories of what we went through. When you've been around 54 years, history don't change, it stays the same. And it came right back around for me. But like Lavelle said, I'm so happy now because believe it or not, we're watching something happen in this country as we speak today that has never happened before. I'm telling you, I've been here long enough to see the difference. When you see blacks, Latinos, Asians, when we talked about the Watts riot, that was 95% black people taking couches out of stores. That ain't what we're looking at now. And what I'm happy about, like I said, from going from anger to enthusiasm, I really feel in my heart that white people finally understand what we have been telling them for years. Thank God that God created a little object called an iPhone that you can take that phone out and take a picture and nobody can tell you that it didn't happen because you can show it to them.
Right.
And you know what anything that's happened that God did, young people like you, y'all go to Google. You can go on your phone and in 15 seconds, if somebody tell you a lie, you can look it up and see that they was lying.
Right.
That's what I'm enthusiastic about today.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I feel so good because finally, and it was going to happen anyway, but we're here right now. They say, is this different? I'm telling you, This is different. That's why we had to come with this song to ask the question of how long. Because now it's not how, believe me, the time is here.
The time is now.
Yes.
And on that note, let's listen to y'all's song, How Long?
All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Man.
Mom, I'm moving with the whispers.
You know, I got to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah. How long? How long?
Yes.
Time for this chapter
You
in.
know what, LaTonya, can I send a shout out?
Yes.
I would love
love
it.
it.
Yeah, I got to send a shout out to David Mendez.
David Magic Mendez.
Mendez, who happens to be our bass player in our band. He wrote that song. And for me, the lyrics say it all, you know?
Everything.
Oh, man,
It
how long
does.
we gonna keep fighting? How come we can't change the wrong to right? You know, I just love it. I think he wrote a tremendous song, and I want him to know how proud we are of him. Absolutely.
Yes. You know what? It was amazing to me is to watch you all as y'all listen to y'all own music. Like that was amazing to me. You guys were all grooving to your own singing and stuff.
Yeah.
So we have to go. Y'all, you all are reminding me how Black is so beautiful, and we just have to
Yes,
find
it
it
is.
again. We
Yes,
lost
it
it, and we
is.
have to
Yeah.
find it again. And
That's right. That's right.
it's time. And I don't even know if we are supposed to wait for them or just take back over what's ours. I mean, you do have to love each other, of course, but this right here is just amazing to me.
Oh man, thank you so much.
Well, what it says to me is the power of music. You know, music brings people together like no other. You know, we've always said this. We're just so blessed to be in music because, you know what? We've traveled all over the world, Europe, Tokyo, you know, Africa. And even when people can't speak the language, music, when you put on music, we can talk to each other as if we just came from each, you know what I'm saying? That's what music does.
Yes. Yes. You know what? I have to share with my audience because they didn't see us before we got on, but this is to me, I'm all about, I always say walk that talk and stuff. And before we got on, we also had the wives on. And, you know, people always say that we don't know how to keep relationships. We don't know what the village is anymore and stuff. But everything that I'm hearing that's negative, you guys seem to be representing it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I needed to have this interview today because y'all are basically inspiring me to just to continue my walk and let nothing stand in my way because y'all are representing it.
That's right. Don't let nothing stop you.
That's it.
But you know, you said something in the beginning that I never heard, and it just enthused the heck out of me. You said, "I'm gonna keep throwing me in. I'm gonna keep throwing me in y'all's face, whether you like it or not." That was incredible.
I love it.
Right.
I love it.
And you know, it's so funny that like, we always talk about how strong our mothers was. You know, when they were here, they were, you know, pushing that. You know, I mean, just keeping us trained the right way. But one thing I always remember my mom says, she always says, you know, you're only as strong as that woman that's standing behind you. So you don't have that force for standing behind you, then you have nothing. And and like they said, my mother his mother too was about 4'11".
Wow.
We had maybe 100 pounds, but each one of us was scared to death of it. And you know, and I was at that time, I thought I was big, but when she come around, you couldn't melt me down and pour me on her. So, you know, we all try to get, you know, we always, who we married is going to be a representation of who we are. And I can honestly say to them, and they will vouch to this, every woman that stands behind us, our wives, is the reason why we're also here, because of their care, their love, their nurturing. All of that thing is so monumental, you know, for us to go out there and do what we got to do is, you know, you got something to come back to that'll hold you down no matter what. And we're blessed with that. As you said, Walter, 44 years, Scotty, 36 years, me, 20 years. So, you know, you can't beat it.
Y'all already, I done already told y'all we're gonna come back and do a what is a black love with y'all wives. So don't think we're gonna avoid that because we're gonna do it. And I don't even need to talk to y'all. I'll just talk to the wives. They'll make it happen. I'm not worried.
Oh yeah, they will. Yeah, they would. They can't wait to talk.
Exactly. So I'm gonna hit each of you guys individually. Walter, tell me what was your best experience? What has been your best experience in the music industry?
Well, there's been several. I'll go back to the beginning. I'm reminded of a night in 1980, 79, 80. We were performing in Shreveport, Louisiana.
I know. I'm from Texarkana, Arkansas.
Are you kidding me? Yes. You're from Texarkana? Oh my God. My dad is from Tyler and my mother is from Corsicana. So these Texas people.
Yes.
But anyway, I digress. But we happened to be on stage in 1980 and they stopped the show. We were performing. And to give you about how our show goes, Nicholas Caldwell, who is our choreographer, he gave the guy a look like he wanted to kill him because when you stop what we were doing that Nick had choreographed, that was danger. You just don't do that. But they stopped the music in the middle of our show and they brought out 5 gold albums. And we stood there like we didn't know what was going on. and they said, Whispers, we want to present to you
Wow.
your first gold album. Your album went gold this week. Now, this is funny. You ain't gonna believe this. We stood there and we asked the guy, he said, are you sure it's for the Whispers? Because there was another group from Europe called Whispers and we thought it was them. I'm telling you the truth. We were so excited. But what I'm saying is that was our first gold album. A couple of months later, that album, And the Beat Goes On with the Whispers, went platinum. And in another 3 months, it was double platinum.
Yes.
That is the biggest record that we have ever. Most people think that Rocksteady is our biggest tune. And the Beat Goes On is the biggest record that we've ever had. And it has to be one of my favorite moments. I mean, I got a few of them, but that was definitely one of them.
Wow. Wow. Scotty, I don't like calling y'all by y'all first names. I feel like, but I'm trying to make sure.
No.
Scotty and Walt. But you know what Walt just did, and I know Lavelle going to say that he just stole our thunder because
everything.
That was the biggest moment for all of us. I mean, to make a long story short, all I can add to that is that was in 1979-80. For the next 8 years following that, everything we had was gold and platinum.
Yes.
That's when we really knew who was in charge, because we know that had to be the man up there. That was the biggest moment for not just Walt, all of us, all 5 of us, and we never looked back. And then lo and behold, we still here 50 years later. Now, you know he's in charge.
But another hit that's about to come. What?
Absolutely. Now we coming with a new one. Exactly.
Yeah,
when did the lady come out?
Huh? The lady came out with 1980.
But it was all
years later.
Same album.
And the beat.
So,
it's funny that you asked that. Yeah, because Lady was never released as a single.
It was just on that album.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the album was simply called The Whispers.
Yeah.
But on that album was And the Beat Goes On, Lady, A Song for Donnie. Everything on there was a single.
Mm-hmm.
Say Yes.
Yeah, everything on it was a hit too.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing with most artists, like Walter said, we've been in the business since 1966, and you put records out. Even then, you put out records, and they do okay. They do good at the home. Some of them, only your mother and father bought. That was it. That they only went that far. But when the Beat Goes On came out, the album called The Whispers, for me, when that album actually turned platinum, for most entertainers, that's like getting your PhD, because it's like, okay, we finally got one that everybody likes and respects. So when you see your records go from 500,000 to 1 million, you say, okay, I got one. I finally arrived. And for me, that moment was just monumental. That means that at least, 1 million people liked the Whispers. And then later it was 2 million people liked the Whispers. So that to me was probably one of my favorite moments is getting, what do they call it? Confirmation that what we were doing, we were on
validation. Yeah, that validated for me.
Yeah, we had arrived.
Yeah.
I love it. So, Mr. Lavelle, so we know that you was the I don't want to say not the play, but the flashy one. So
I don't know if I was. I think Nick was the flashy one, but.
So we know you were like cars. So when it went gold, did you go buy a new car?
You want me to be real?
I want y'all to be real. I want you to be real.
Okay, when that record went platinum, I went out and I went to the dealer in LA. It's called Beverly Hills Porsche, and I bought me a brand new 1979 930 Turbo with all the goodies on it. And it's funny because I tell them all the time. I walked in that dealership, walking in there looking like I am now. And nobody talked to me in that dealership at all. It shows how times were even back then. And I walked in there for about 45 minutes, and a salesman who was just coming on came in and says, "Has anybody helped you?" I said, "No." He says, "Nobody's helped you?" I said, "No." He says, "Well, what you want to do?" I said, "Well, I want to buy this car here." He says, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, okay, let's go back." And so I wrote him a check for that car. You know, I won't tell because it sounds like I'm bragging what I paid for it. But anyway.
No, let's brag. Let's brag. We brag on black people here. Brag on
That car was
black
$60,000, which was monumental at that time. So I wound up writing him a check for $60,000. And I think one of the twins came in there. And was it you, Walter, or Scotty, who walked in there? Somebody went in that dealership and said, you know, they were looking at the car too and said, "Oh yeah, one of the Whispers just bought it." And he said, "Who?" Lavelle Degree of the Whispers just bought it.
Yeah, that was me. My wife came later while we was on the road, and she bought the next portion that I had. We were on the road, and my wife went down.
Yes, wife.
As a matter of fact, your brother David, this is incredible. You getting some real info now. David, who was a car aficionado, I guess you call it.
Exactly.
He saw a 911 and he said, "Walt, you got to get this one." But we were on the road. I called Jan. I said, "Jan, go to David. He'll tell you what car it is." And she went down and bought the 911.
Right. Yep.
Yes. See, y'all, I love y'all, but I'm in love with y'all wives. I just want to tell you.
But I'm gonna tell you one thing: if I had it to do all over again, I'd take that $60,000 and bought some property like a smart black man should have done.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Been a property on your head.
Y'all earned that. You know, sometimes you get to show off. So we know we have How Long is out. So tell me, what's next for the Whispers?
Well, the next one is going to be the tip. We're coming with the love song. You know, we were planning to do that before COVID-19 struck. But we really think we want to take advantage of this momentum. I mean, we see the whole world jumping in on trying to change the world, and we definitely want to be a part of that. So that's what How Long is doing. But after the run on this song, we coming back Whispers. And that is, now we talking to the ladies. We talking about how much we respect our ladies. We talking about how much we cherish them.
Yes.
And that's what this next one is going to be about.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have to say this. I've been listening to y'all all day long. And even when I'm listening to How Long, y'all voices just stay so smooth. They don't, there's no anger. It's just I could just go to sleep because life is good. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, you know. And I've been knowing your music and everything, but today was a different thing. I had to, when I prepare myself, I try to like get into a certain vibe and stuff. And it's amazing to be here at this moment. It's amazing to be here with you all at this moment, to know the history and know that what you all have went through, because it's still a different time than when you all started.
Oh, no question.
You know,
It's a different day.
Black people have a lot more freedom than you all had back then. You know, for example, you was drafted to the war. Drafted. What does drafted mean? They wouldn't know what drafted mean these days.
You know,
right. And you know what? That was a great experience in my life. I went, like I said, the whole year was spent in Vietnam. But when you talk about, you said you wanted to get a little bit outside of music. This is what I remember about Vietnam. We were in Vietnam fighting the Viet Cong, but there was a bigger war going on between us. We had GIs. Well, we had GIs that came from like West Virginia. Mm-hmm. They were mixed in with guys from Detroit, me from Los Angeles, and Chicago. And when I tell you, I told the guys this because they didn't believe it, but it's the truth. We had certain guys from West Virginia that thought black people didn't bathe. They were brought up in an environment where they thought black people were just about like animals. And I mean, they weren't trying, when they said this, they weren't trying to insult me. We came from different culture. They really felt that. And by coming together, us all over there trying to defeat the Viet Cong, and like Muhammad Ali said, I told them, the Viet Cong ain't never done nothing to me.
Right.
The problem I got is you. Right. That's the thing that went on in Vietnam. When I came back from Vietnam, I wasn't regarded as a hero. But what a learning experience when you bring people from all different cultures together and they end up fighting for one side. You realize that if we just stick together, that's what happened in Vietnam. You know, I had black, white, Mexican, Italian. We were all over there together fighting for a cause that I later learned wasn't the right cause. We had no in Vietnam. That's the truth of the matter.
Right. So, do you think that your experience over there played a part of who you are now and the music, the part that you play in this music group?
Oh, there's no question. It left an extreme impression on me. That's why I said in 54 years, you watch history almost repeat itself.
Right.
In 1965, we had just got out of high school 3 years earlier. It was nothing for the police to stop me and tell me to put my hands on the fender and get on the ground. And here we go 50 years, 40 years later, and the same thing is happening. I mean, believe me, if you're a black person, and I tell my white friends this, you can never understand what that feels like. Mm-mm. You just can't, because you haven't been there.
Nope, not at all.
You know, as black women, we can't really understand either. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, they're coming for us too, but not like they come for y'all. So I tell women all the time, we have got to stop because we do not understand what they go through. We may be black women and we may raise them or whatever, but until you're a black man, we don't know.
No. Yeah, I had since we're telling stories, you know, I have white friends that are good friends, and I had to explain to one of my white friends a real simple scenario. And the scenario was that, let's say we both go to the liquor store and come back home. I might not get home. You ain't had to worry about getting home.
Right.
Me, on the other hand, I might get home and I might not.
Right.
Right.
That's the difference between Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter. They keep saying, what's the difference? That's the difference. You know, and if you all lives matter, you'll never get a knee in your neck.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's the difference.
Right. So let me ask you all another serious question. What do we do to stop the black on black hate?
Oh man, great question.
Wow, yeah.
Great question.
I'm so glad you asked it, because boy, you know, we go to high schools and we don't do it as much anymore, but we used to go to high schools all the time. And we'd say to young people, we would want them to just sit down and listen.
Right.
Don't you understand that you don't own that street light? You know, when we lived in Watts, and the gang members would take certain territories, and you couldn't come in one territory to another. And what we tried to make young people understand is that there is no territory. We all is one. Why are we fighting and killing each other? It just makes no sense. You know, and we tell young people today, you know, we just lost John Lewis, you know, the great legislator. Look what he went through. I mean, he got hit upside the head. They beat him, but he had one thing in mind, trying to bring people together. And that's what we say to young people. Don't turn on each other. Why you want to turn on each other? It makes no sense.
Right. You're actually you're almost perpetuating what white people think of us. They always think of animals, and they'll kill one another. So when you do that, you're actually perpetuating the truth out of them. I mean, you're not necessarily the truth, but you're perpetuating exactly what they want you to do. You know, they think of you as monkeys. They think of you as uneducated. They think you as violent. All of those things. And what you do is say, "Yeah, check it out. I don't have a problem killing a white person or a Mexican person, but I also kill my own brothers too." So how are we ever going to be as a family? How are we ever going to wind up being as one? If I'm scared, look, let me be honest with you. You know, I've walked places where I saw brothers and I crossed the street because I wasn't sure what they would do. You know, and that's sad that I have to be afraid of my own brothers. But that is what we're living in today, and they need to stop this mess. You know, because the only way we're going to wind up getting equality is showing who we are as a people. You know, Asians come over here and they own the liquor store right around the corner from you. You know, you even own the grocery store, the liquor store, the gas station, the restaurants, they're frying your fried fish because they learn how to do it better than you. Why don't you own that? You know, you got to change your thinking. You really got to change your thinking.
Absolutely.
Love is the answer.
Yep, I got it right here.
That's what it says. That's what it says in the record. Love is
baby. That's what it's about.
There it is.
Hashtag loveism.
Yeah, give it a try.
Well, you know what? I don't want to go to the Bible, but you know what? The two greatest commandments in the Bible is love of God and love of neighbor. Love is in both of them. Like Scotty said, some people think that's corny, but boy, love can carry you a long way. Because if you love each other, you're willing to talk to each other and have an understanding. You can't lose if you love somebody.
That's right. That's right.
But getting angry, that ain't gonna take you nowhere.
No, not at all.
I love it.
Life, yeah.
Can y'all believe we've been on this interview for almost an hour?
No,
This is great.
You know, before one thing I want to say to you before you leave, I want you to understand how much we appreciate you giving us this platform. We do not take it for granted. I want to say to you, thank you so much. This means everything.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us the shot.
Yes. This platform has done wonders for people like us, old school music, because as you know, the music industry today is about fast food. Whatever's new, you know, that's what they want to hear. They don't pay homage to the people that are the pioneers that brought this along or started this. And you see that not necessarily in the white world, because Rolling Stones can still go to Dodger Stadium and fill it up 4 times. We can't do that. So these kind of platforms, when you go to stations now, the age group is like, it might be 20 to 25, they're like, who are the whispers? But this kind of thing has allowed us to still remain relevant, and we just appreciate, you know, being here, you know, with you.
Absolutely.
So I have to ask you all one more question. So I just released, I'll put people on the spot. So I'm a smart woman. My mother taught me. So I just released Proof magazine, a Black woman's proof that positive Black men exist. And all I do in there is promote Black men, and it's all about Black men. The only woman you will find in there is me. It's about you all. It's stories. We have men from all over the world in there. So I would be honored if you guys will be the cover magazine, on a cover, one of my covers within the next couple of months.
We'd be
up to definitely.
Not
we would be honored.
We would be honored.
Yes, yes.
We would be honored.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we'll get stories to put in there too, boy. Ooh.
Oh, we want.
So let me ask you this question though: are you gonna be on there with us?
No.
Oh.
So listen, I'm gonna send each of you guys a copy of the first issue, and I was on the cover of the first issue, and that's it. After that, it will all be Black men from now on. So it'll just be you all.
Well, we'll be honored. We'll be honored.
Yeah.
Be honored to do it. No question about it.
Do it.
Yes. So, of course, I'm gonna be spoiled because I got new uncles. Y'all have to give me a little of something, just a little. But first, let me say this. Miss Ballard, I don't know if she's y'all manager. I don't know your publicist, but she's the best. I love her. Like, she just took care of everything so smoothly, and I respect her so much. And I deal with publicists all the time, and she's on it. She's on it.
We love her too. We love her too. She's our everything. Believe me.
Oh man, I love her. So I had to shout her out first because she's another one who made this happen. And she calls me anytime, and I will drop anything for her. So that's how well she treats me. So.
Well, before we get off the air, let me give it, like Scotty said, and let me add my 2 cents. You're young, you're beautiful, and you took the time to be with some guys that's been around for 54 years. I want you to know we really appreciate it. Like he said, we don't take it for granted. It means everything to us, and I want to say thank you.
Y'all are welcome at any time. Anytime. And if y'all are ever in Atlanta performing, I'm gonna be there.
All right.
We will be there. We were supposed to be there this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the COVID-19 put a stop to all of that, but we'll be back.
Oh yeah, it's only a matter of time.
Yes, it's all gonna change up. It's all. So, what song are we gonna sing? Let me wait. To all of y'all that are watching, first of all, I seen somebody, y'all. I'm blind, and so I did see somebody was in here from Japan.
Wow.
There's that's on here that's replying, but I was so into y'all that I have not been able to respond. But I need you guys to make sure y'all shout out all these people because they're coming in from all over the place. So make sure y'all show them some love.
Yes, definitely. Love Japan.
It might be our keyboard player. We have a keyboard player from Tokyo, Japan. Beautiful young lady named Aya.
It
might be our keyboard player. If it is, say hi to her. She's a beautiful young lady.
And not only that, all of the people in Tokyo, because we realize we have fans and we appreciate the fact, not only Japan, South Africa, Australia, thank you all for supporting us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank each and every one of you.
Yes, right.
Love. Okay, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I appreciate it. I appreciate it because you never have to do that. So please continue to join me every Tuesday, 7 or 8 p.m. Thank you guys for changing the schedule because it was supposed to be at 8 p.m. and we found out that we put all kinds of stuff out. It was the wrong time. She was like, well, let me ask them. So I appreciate you guys for working with me with the time change. That means a lot. Y'all, the Whispers worked with my schedule.
Absolutely.
Thank you once again. We look forward to getting with you again, sweetheart. Take care.
Wow.
All right.
I need y'all to end in a song. I don't know what y'all are gonna sing, but I need a little of something.
What you want to sing, Scotty? You want to sing something individually, or you want?
No, I want to say that line in the song that says, "You know, love is the answer to all misery." Yeah. Won't you take my hand today, tomorrow? That's what I want to sing. How long? Check it out.
Tell me how long.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
much.
God
bless you.
You too. Bye.
Take care.
Take care.
All right.